This is Sullivan Adams doing my last school day review, which is now completely and utterly done. As you've seen from my last two videos, this is part 3. I'm now done with this. As you well known, School Days is a high school drama, but it goes from romance slowly down, like to a different direction. One that's never been taken before, and one that will probably make you scratch your head if you haven't watched it. And if you have watched it, well, like I told you in my last videos, I pity you. This anime, it was brought to you by a company in Japan called TKN, who has been responsible for developing other works. For example, History of a Shrine Maiden. But they mostly do co-ops. They never made anything original. For example, School Days is probably their only official work. Their only official work that they've done by themselves, at least. Anyway, when they started School Day, it is based on a manga, which is what most Japanese anime is, based on a manga. And I gotta admit, I have read the manga. It's based on it a little bit. But here's one thing. The ending's not the same. It is different. It is completely different, and it's not, and it doesn't end the way it is. I don't know why they just changed it, but you gotta admit it is less cynical and thing, but it still leaves you with like a question mark. That's as much as but during the production, all I can tell you is this much: during the production, when they were making the series, they really went out on it. Like, even though it's their first work by themselves, TKN, they put a lot into it. They even managed to make their own game of this for PlayStation 2 that you can buy in Japan. Like, they really sell this stuff. Like, they're really gonna auction this stuff out. Like, it's not worth the stuff. It's not worth the watch. Like, really. It is 12 episodes long, so it's very fast. It starts to hook you in for the first dozen episodes, and then later it starts to lose it. As I said in my last videos, there are more drama, more questions, and more surprises. So if you haven't seen my other videos, go ahead and watch it, because I can tell you, what you're going to see is my opinion and my biased perspective from my standpoint. That is the honest truth, and I cannot lie, because I'm being honest right now. Anyway, they've done other production, like the same people who wrote the School Days manga did other works, something called Cross Days. It's like School Days, but a little different. Unlike its counterpart, it actually has what you call sort of a bright ending, and the other one is called Summer Days, which is something I cannot find. Although it is listed on Wikipedia, but for some reason they never done nothing. And I remind you that these are all based on mangas. Most of them are all based on mangas. That's what most Japanese anime is, based on mangas. Like, all of them are all written down, and then for example, how made the show. For example, One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, the Big Three. Any of these are all based on mangas, and I have read the chapters, and I have seen what could happen. And, although there's editing, there's producer, there's decision making, there's cuts. But that's what you get from production work. Anyway, the 12 episodes are fast, and there's even 2 other episodes called OVSs, like 2 other episodes. That makes it 14, and it's all different from the ending. It takes everything from a whole other direction, and to be honest, they're more comedic than serious. Those 2 episodes are more comedic than serious. I really got into School Days because I wanted to know how I find out, because I subscribe to this guy. I am subscribed to this guy who I've been following for a year. He did a School Days review recently, and because of that I get interested. And what I found out was really, really shocking, because, well, like I said, it will leave you with more questions than answers. That's just. And I've seen other videos, I've seen other reviews. Some people think that they deserve its ending because of because of the storyline. But some think it was completely whacked out. Some really hated it. Others completely enjoy it. But that's their opinion, and then that's their perspective. But you gotta admit, the school days is what you may call, and does have something. For example, there's music. I mean, it's supposed to be high school drama. You expect something like that, like dramatic music for emotional times, for emotional thing. But there are some creepy moments. That's what you get from this. Nothing but creepy moments, nothing but drama, but then it shoots itself in the foot. Some people say that the main guy, Makoto Ito, deserved what he got because of his lying ways. But the truth is no one could have predicted none of this. And the fact they even made this was really shocking. I mean, what was the viewer standpoint of this in Japan? And I heard they postponed it because there was an actual crime in the area where they were supposed to show the show, like in the actual studio, in the actual town area in Japan. They had to postpone it for like at least a week and a half before everything got serious. And when they did, they cut out some stuff. They edited it, but it still showed. You still get the message. It didn't show too much. If you do watch it, just be sure you're in for a surprise. And like I said before, this is anime, but this is made in a whole new direction because it makes you think. For example, myself, when I watched it, I had a giant headache from this. I watched it till midnight. I watched it and then I tried to fall asleep, knowing that I thought about this. It was such a brain teaser. I hate thinking about it from midnight to 3 in the morning to try to sleep, and I was so upset about this. I tried to consult a therapist. Yes, it was that serious. But I reassured myself, but I do remember one thing. It's not real. It's just animation. It's a cartoon, a doodle. It's not real. They're not real people. They're just characters, an idea in someone's head. They're just not real, and I was reassured of that. But to be honest, that brain teaser was that School Days was such a giant brain teaser that it was so horrible for me. Like, I started watching other anime just to get it out of my head. I started focusing like on different projects. For example, DN Angel, Trigun, probably like Trigun, Trinity Blood, any other anime that I can think of to get this out of my skull. And to be honest, it eased me down, but still didn't work because I still have the image in my head. But this is from my perspective. I'll tell, like I said before, and I will say it again. School Days is a brain teaser. And if you want to watch it, go. I can't stop you, but I am giving you this warning. You're in for something You're in for something. You are in for something that should not be seen. I even watched another guy's review, and he did this way before I did. He filmed his friend's reaction and posted it on YouTube and with his video and the guy laughed the whole time. Like, what the hell? Like. That's all I got. Like, I even read comments from other videos. Like, this deserved it. Like I said, some enjoyed it. Some think it was a proper ending. But really, it had to end this way. The manga didn't end this way at all. It was just out of nowhere. But you gotta admit, it was an ending to think about, and it will leave an impression on you, one that you cannot change. And one that if you have watched it, it will leave you with more questions than answers. And like I said before, this is all based on a manga, but it's a little different. The beginning's the same, but it starts to follow the route, but a little differently. And like I said, the other one, School Days, Cross Days you can find on any manga website that you want to read it. But with Summer Days, I tried myself. Nothing worked. And this is from my perspective. Anyway, this is all I can say. And I said they tried to expand on it. The company that did make this is called TKN, and they did try their hardest. And I mean, they expanded. They made video games of this, and they even put some of this in the video game. I mean, you really put some of this stuff in the game? Like, you really trying to reach this far. And like I said, they have done other projects, but they're not so well that they have really made a name for themselves. They're still a little underdeveloped. School Days was their only shot that I'm aware of so far on my own. But that's it. That's as much as I know, and that's as much as I'm going to share. Those of you who have been following me this far, I thank you for your patience. And the reason why I made this, why I also invade you and haven't said anything about the last episodes or last 2 episodes, is because I was originally supposed to someone else who someone a very versatile friend, you could say a family member, who read my videos and think I'm giving away a little too much information. For the record, when I do make future videos, I will make more videos, but I will keep some of the information to myself and let you sign an anime on your own. Anyway, this is Sellavin Adams signing off. Thank you for your patience. Comment, rate, subscribe.